Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. Today we're going to take a deep dive into global gold reserves.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, those secret vaults in movies, except it's real and it's countries stashing away tons and tons of gold.
Exactly. It's like getting a peek behind the curtain of global finance and seeing how countries protect their wealth on a massive scale.
So for those of you who maybe haven't heard of gold reserves, imagine this. Countries have these giant vaults like treasure chests
Right.
filled with actual bars of gold.
A real-life dragon's hoard.
It's fascinating.
Hmm.
And these reserves are more than just numbers. They're a big symbol of economic power and stability on the world stage.
It's a way for countries to kind of safeguard themselves when things get rough economically, and it helps keep their currencies strong.
Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, who's got the biggest gold stash?
Uh-huh. Yeah, good question.
Well, no surprise here, it's the United States. But get this, they're holding over 8,133 metric tons of gold. That's like 78% of their total foreign reserves.
It's an incredible amount. To give you an idea, imagine a cube of solid gold,
Wow.
the size of a 3-story building. That's about how much gold the U.S. has.
That's insane. But I'm curious, did they always have this much gold?
Their reserves actually peaked during World War II at over 20,000 metric tons.
World War II. Wow. Why so much back then?
Well, during the war, the U.S. became kind of like a safe haven for wealth globally.
Oh, I see.
Governments and individuals were looking for stability in a really uncertain time, and gold, always holds its value.
Right.
So it poured into the U.S., which really boosted their reserves.
So after the war ended, did the U.S. just hold on to all that gold?
Not quite. The situation changed in the 1960s.
Right.
Deficit spending and efforts to stabilize the dollar actually led to a decrease in their gold reserves.
Interesting.
In 1971, the direct link between the U.S. dollar and gold was actually eliminated.
So the dollar wasn't backed by gold anymore. That seems like a big shift.
It was. But even though that direct link was broken, gold's role didn't just vanish. Today, the U.S. gold reserve has stabilized. It's around 8,000 to 9,000 metric tons.
Okay.
And it's still a powerful symbol. You could say it's a gold-plated safety deposit box, backing up the strength of the dollar and reassuring investors globally.
Like saying, hey, we got the gold, we're stable, you can trust us.
Exactly. It's all about confidence and trust on a global scale.
Now, before we move on to other countries and their gold strategies, let's take a quick pause for our American retirees listening in.
Yes, great idea.
If you're thinking about diversifying your portfolio and maybe tapping into the value of gold, you might want to consider a gold IRA.
It could be a smart way to protect your retirement savings from the ups and downs of the market.
If that sounds interesting, head over to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
There you'll find.
We have a free checklist there to help you choose the right gold IRA company for your needs. It's full of helpful info to make those important decisions about your financial future.
Okay, now let's shift gears and look at another big player in the gold game. Germany.
Right?
They've got the second largest gold reserves globally, over 3,352 tons, worth a cool $150 billion.
Wow, that's a lot of gold.
Huh.
But are they keeping it all in one place?
Not exactly. They've gone for a strategy of diversification and security.
Oh, interesting.
So instead of keeping all their gold in one spot, they've divided it between Frankfurt, New York, and London.
Ah, so they're spreading risk in case something happens in one location.
Exactly. It's all about making sure they can access their gold no matter what's going on in the world. Smart move, especially in these uncertain times, right?
Definitely. Now, this next one actually surprised me.
Oh,
Italy. They're the third largest holder of gold.
that's right. They're holding over 2,451.8 metric tons, worth roughly $130 billion.
That's incredible. But are they taking the same approach as Germany with their gold?
Not quite. Italy's chosen a different path when it comes to storage.
Really? What's their strategy then?
They like to keep things a little closer to home. About 74% of their gold is stored in Rome at the Bank of Italy.
So they're more centralized, keeping a tight grip on their gold.
You could say that. It's definitely a different approach to managing their gold reserves and financial security.
It's fascinating to see how different countries view gold. Each one has its own unique strategy based on their history, their economic outlook, and their place in the world.
Absolutely. There's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to managing wealth and navigating the complexities of global finance.
So we've seen how Germany and Italy manage their gold, each with their own style. But what about France? Where do they fit in this global gold picture?
Well, France comes in fourth place with 2,436 metric tons of gold.
Okay.
Now, here's something interesting. They were really active in buying gold back in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, wow. So long ago.
But get this, they're still adding to their reserves, even today.
So even with how much the world has changed, they still see gold as important. It's not just something from the past for them.
Exactly. It shows you that gold is still a powerful asset, even in our modern digital world.
Okay, makes sense. Now, let's talk about a country that's been making headlines with their gold strategy. Russia.
Oh, yeah, they've been on quite the gold buying spree.
They have. Russia's holding the fifth largest gold reserve, over 2,333 metric tons, worth about $140 billion.
That's right. And what's really remarkable is how much their gold holdings have grown in the last 2 decades.
It's more than doubled, right?
Yeah.
From around 1,800 to where it is now. That's a pretty big jump. Why are they buying so much gold?
Well, there are a few reasons, but one of the main ones is that they want to move away from depending on the US dollar.
I see. They're looking for more financial independence.
Exactly. They want to create a system that's less tied to the dollar's dominance.
So it's a strategic move, not just about the economic.
You got it. They're using gold to gain more control over their own economy and navigate the global financial system on their terms.
That's really interesting. It shows how gold isn't just about wealth. It's about power and influence on the world stage.
Absolutely. It plays a unique role that goes beyond its economic value.
So we talk about the top five, the big players in the gold game, but there are other countries with significant gold reserves too, right?
Of course. China, for example, has the sixth largest reserve. They've been steadily increasing their gold holdings for years.
Yeah, China's known for thinking long term, so it makes sense they see the value in gold. What about other countries?
While Switzerland, Japan, and India are also in the top 10, each with their own reasons for holding gold. India, in particular, has a really strong cultural and economic connection to gold.
It's not just an investment for them, it's part of their traditions in everyday life, right?
Exactly. In fact, it's estimated that Indian households hold more gold than any central bank in the world. That's how much they love gold.
Wow, that's amazing. It's incredible how gold has different meanings and plays different roles around the world.
It really is.
But let's shift gears for a second, bring this back to us regular folks. You know, we've been talking about countries in these massive gold reserves. But what does it mean for individuals? Can we even get in on this gold game?
Absolutely, and that's where a gold IRA comes in. Think of it like your own mini version of a national gold reserve, but for your retirement savings.
A gold IRA. Okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for me. What exactly is that?
A gold IRA, or gold individual retirement account, is a special type of retirement account where you can invest in actual physical gold instead of the usual stocks and bonds.
Oh, interesting. So it's like taking a page from those countries we talked about, using gold to protect against economic uncertainty, but on a personal level.
That's a great way to put it. A gold IRA can give you a sense of security, especially when the market's being unpredictable or when inflation's rising.
Yeah, we've all seen how crazy the financial world can get.
Yeah.
Having some of your savings in something real and tangible like gold, something that's held its value for centuries, that's got to be reassuring, right?
Definitely. And just like those countries we talked about, gold in your retirement plan can act like a shield against potential economic problems.
But how does a gold IRA actually work? I mean, I doubt I'm going to have a treasure chest full of gold bars in my attic.
Haha, not quite. You still work with a custodian, a company that specializes in holding and managing gold investments within the IRA.
Okay.
They take care of everything, including storing the gold in a secure, insured place.
So I don't have to worry about finding a secret vault or becoming a target for thieves.
Nope. Your gold's professionally stored and protected so you can relax.
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of gold IRAs, let's take a quick break for another message for our American retirees out there.
All right.
If you're interested in Gold IRA, head over to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. We have a free checklist there that can help you choose the right Gold IRA company. It's packed with information to help you make smart choices about your financial future.
And once you've checked that out,
We can dive back into exploring Gold IRAs. What are the advantages of choosing a Gold IRA over other retirement accounts?
Well, there are a few key benefits. First, as we discussed, gold is a really good hedge against inflation. When prices go up, the value of your money goes down.
Yeah, your dollar just doesn't buy as much anymore.
Exactly. But gold tends to keep its value over time, so your retirement savings won't be as affected by inflation.
So it helps protect the value of your savings so you can actually buy things when you retire. That's huge, especially when you're on a fixed income.
Absolutely. Another advantage is that gold helps you diversify your retirement portfolio. Most traditional IRAs focus on stocks and bonds, which can be risky.
Yeah, the stock market can be a roller coaster.
You never know what's going to happen. But gold usually moves independently of the stock market. Its price isn't directly tied to those ups and downs on Wall Street.
So it's like having a backup plan in case the stock market goes crazy.
Exactly. By adding gold to your retirement mix, you're spreading out your risk and building a more stable portfolio.
Okay, so gold helps protect against inflation and makes my investments more diverse. What other benefits are there?
Another big one is that gold can give you peace of mind when things are uncertain, geopolitically or economically. It's good to know that part of your savings is in something real and tangible that's held its value for centuries, no matter what's happening in the news.
It's like a safety net you can count on.
Exactly. Gold is a physical asset with real value. It's not dependent on any government or financial system.
It gives you a sense of independence and security, knowing you have something that stood the test of time.
That's it. Gold can bring peace of mind, knowing that part of your savings is in an asset that's weathered all kinds of economic storms throughout history.
It's pretty clear that gold can bring some peace of mind in a world that can feel, well, pretty unpredictable.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how something that's been valuable for centuries is still so relevant today.
It really is.
But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. If someone's listening and thinking, okay, this gold IRA thing sounds interesting, what's the first step? How do they actually get started?
It's kind of like building a house. You wouldn't just start throwing bricks around without a plan, right?
Good point.
Setting up a gold IRA takes some thought and planning.
So let's break it down step by step. What's the first brick we got to lay in this gold IRA foundation?
The most important thing is to choose a good gold IRA custodian.
Okay, and a custodian is?
It's a company that specializes in holding and managing your gold investments within the IRA. They handle all the details, from buying the gold to storing it safely in an insured vault.
So they're like the architects, making sure everything's built right.
Exactly. They're crucial for keeping your investments safe. That's why you got to choose a custodian with a good reputation and a solid track record.
Okay, so how do you find a trustworthy custodian? It's not like they have billboards everywhere.
You're right. It takes some research. Start by looking for companies that have been around for a while with good reviews from other clients.
So do some homework online, check their background, make sure they're legit. What else should people be looking for?
Transparency is key. Look for a custodian that's upfront about their fees, storage options, and what kind of gold they offer. You got to understand all the costs and choices involved.
Right, no hidden surprises.
Exactly.
Now, what about the gold itself? Is all gold the same when it comes to a gold IRA? Can I just melt down my old jewelry?
Good question. Actually, not all gold qualifies for a gold IRA.
Oh, really?
The IRS has specific rules about how pure the gold needs to be.
So there's a gold standard for gold IRAs.
Yeah.
Get it.
Very funny. But yeah, usually you'll be investing in gold bars or coins that meet those IRS standards. Your custodian can tell you exactly what types of gold qualify.
All right, so you've found a good custodian and you've picked your gold. What happens next? Is it like in the movies where you walk into a vault and see your gold stacked up?
I wish. It's not quite that glamorous. Once you've got your custodian and your gold, you got to fund your gold IRA.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Usually you can just roll over or transfer money from an existing retirement account, like a traditional IRA or a 401k.
So you can move your retirement savings into a gold IRA without any tax penalties. That's pretty convenient.
It is. It's a popular choice for folks who want to diversify their retirement portfolio without having to come up with a bunch of cash all at once.
So you've got your custodian, your account's funded, and you've picked your gold. Now what? Does it just sit there and wait for you to retire?
Pretty much. Your gold is kept safe in an insured vault, and your custodian will send you regular statements showing you the value of your investment.
So you can keep track of how your gold's doing, just like any other retirement account.
Exactly. And when you reach retirement age, you can start taking distributions from your gold IRA, just like you would with a traditional IRA.
So you can enjoy your golden years with your, well, gold. Makes sense.
It does. It's all about planning for a secure future, and gold can play a big part in that.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier. Choosing a reputable custodian. That seems like a really important step. Are there any red flags people should be aware of? Are there gold scammers out there?
Unfortunately, there are some shady companies out there trying to take advantage of people interested in gold.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, so it's super important to be careful and do your research.
So what are some warning signs? Things that should make people think twice?
Watch out for companies that promise crazy high returns or try to pressure you into making a quick decision.
Yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Exactly. Also, be careful of companies that are secretive about their fees or storage practices.
So make sure everything's clear and upfront, no hidden costs or surprises.
Right. And lastly, always check the company's reputation with organizations like the Better Business Bureau.
Good advice.
Mm.
Better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to your retirement savings.
Definitely. Doing your homework can save you a lot of trouble and protect your investment.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've gone from these massive global gold reserves held by countries to the gold IRA, which is like a mini gold reserve for individuals.
It's been quite the journey through history, economics, and personal finance.
If you're thinking about adding gold to your retirement portfolio, take your time, do your research, and make choices that are right for you.
And don't forget, we have a free checklist to help you choose the right gold IRA company. Just go to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
It's packed with tips and info to help you navigate the world of gold IRAs and make smart decisions about your financial future.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of gold.
We hope you found it helpful and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Until next time, may your financial future be bright, your retirement secure, and your journey truly golden.